Hi guys, it's Aegis here. So today I'm here with a Gundam deck profile. This I'll be covering a blue, red new type or cyber new type focus deck. So this is the very early decks that I've started building when I just got the cards from the main booster. I can see a lot of people already kind of make some of the drafts too, so I want to put up mine as well, which so far is doing me okay, and it's a deck to help me to kind of learn how the game pacing is going. I haven't been actually playing a very aggressive deck yet, but this build against a aggressive deck might be a little bit tough. I have to say that beforehand, but I think it is a very interesting thing for me to just try on because it's a new Gundam card game which is completely different to Gundam War. When I play Gundam War, we usually start at a later kind of mark, unless you really again playing against the aggressive deck, which they are supposed to beat you in like 3 turns, but hopefully it's not happening in here. And so far when I'm playing against some middle range sort of decks, I can kind of doing it quite well. So here I am. So let's go into the profile immediately. First, I am running 4 of the gun tanks, which will ping 1 damage to your opponent rested unit if it's on place. So it's not something that you just pay it out for no reason, right? You keep this in your hand, even though when you have 2 resources and you have nothing to do, you will not just play it out, because the 1 damage ping is very important. For example, if you're facing like white decks, they will have the free one choose machines that will just drop card and draw card, and they will keep recycling, and you don't want to trade with that card normally unless you don't have a choice. But once they are attacked, you play the gun tank, you ping 1 damage, they're gone. Even when they put choo on there, it's not going to add up defense, so you can just simply get rid of it. And if you are having some like free attack power units and they have the 2/4 blocker that you can simply kill it, then you can just bait them to take the hit and then just pay the gun tank and then ping 1 damage, right? So that is always possible. And even the gun tanks itself is only like 1 attack, but you still have ways to make it more useful just for the 1 ping. You can still add up attack power to make it strong enough to be like a free defense kind of thing. We'll see it in a bit, but so far the more important thing is to ping, and it can even just trade with a Saku if it needs to. So because the 1 ping to the Saku, 1 defense, and then 1 attack to just finish it off. So it's still okay, but do be careful, don't play it out for no reason, and then you should be fine. And then we have our resale for it. This slot I was trying to put some like Neo Zeon cards in here, but then the 4-3 quality is really too great, especially when we do have a high chance to see white decks or decks containing white cards in most places, because blocker is tempting, and again they will be using the 2/4 blocker, and if you are using a free attack base, then it's not fatal, and we attack their first EX base, which is only free defense, they will just likely to block it. And most of the free attack ones, unless they get into turn 3, they usually, well, maybe like even turn 4, right? They usually are like 3/2, so the 2/4 blocker will completely counter them to destroy 1, and it stays on the field to do another block. So this completely stops that. It's just like, okay, I go in to your base, you're going to lose your unit while I'm still having 1 HP left, or you're going to let the EX base gone. They usually will let the base gone, and this is what you want, right? So so far this is still a very strong attacker for you to get rid of, or like kind of a solution when you see 2/4 blockers. And even if they block, you can still just use this to go in to finish it off. So and without the resale actually dying. So this is pretty good in my opinion. And then we have the HASATA, which deals 1 damage on place to rested opponent units, which is basically gun tank, right? But with a better body. I'm not using a lot because it is quite heavy. It's a level 4, so I put a little bit focus on what I can do in turn 2 and 3, which are these ones, and then go in with this if I need to do a little bit of ping, or when I need a few damage to get it done, then this is one of them, right? And the 3-3 body isn't bad, can help you deal with a lot of like mid-range cards with the ping, right? Yeah, so that's basically why I'm using it. And then next I'm running the booster LR Gundam. The main reason I'm using this one instead of the starter one is because of the draw. Even though the +1 AP is not bad, but a lot of times you will be using your Gundam to trade a lot of things, and like even when it got like 5 defense, it's not like it will stay on the field very long. So I rather just push for something that can get me a draw, and then try to use this to kind of wipe something, and then try to keep it on the field by not taking 5 damage, or in this case 4, and then just try to stay alive and repair itself. But more important is the draw, because it's on set, so it doesn't require you to impair with a specific character, which is quite nice. As long as you put something on the Gundam, you get 2 other units out, which will usually be these ones, or maybe later other bigger units that actually stay on the field better. That's how you can get the draw a lot easier. The repair one to the WB team, I think, is not too important here because the only WB units are these 2, and the gun tank only got 2 defense, so it's not going to like survive an attack basically. But if it's like against a ping deck and they just ping 1 to it, then you have a chance to repair if you want to. Okay, and then playing 4 of the vanilla Cruciatoria. So this is another mid-range card that helps you to expand the board, easier to do your links because it's for Cyber Newtype, which in this deck build we have 2 of the Cyber Newtype, and both of them is going to make this card a lot stronger. So I'm playing a 4 off, and then next is the level 5 Cruciatoria, which you can ping 1 damage to 2 units when you have a new type or Cyber Newtype set on it, which for our deck 80% are those, so you will be fine to let that effect to go through, which is not hard at all. And the ping is the main idea of this deck, which is also why we have the HASATA with the gun tank to help do a little bit more ping. And then ending the units with 2 Shinanjus and 2 Banshee Destroy mode. So at first when I'm trying to build the deck within Marita, I'm thinking of should I try the Banshee. That is why I put 2 in, and then I know because it's a card that is very hard to use. It first needs to link, and then it needs you to have 12 cards in your junkyard or trash area to get back to the deck and shuffle in order to get the effect going. So it's not something that is so easy to achieve, right? So I didn't put a lot. It just like it's a kind of good finisher because you can attack 2 times, right? And then I'm thinking of what other boss unit that I can use, because this only pings like a few damage, is not something that killing, and the defenses usually get this 5, so it's also easy to be like get rid of. And we do see a lot of blockers, and then I look into Shinanju and I think, okay, it's because I will be using full frontal for the Cyber Newtype threat, then why shouldn't I use Shinanju as well? So when I get the pair, they can go in, they go high maneuver, they go in without blocking, and then they also deal 2 damage if you actually break a shield or destroy something in the shield area, which is also another ping and gives you more open chances for more pings, right? So if these pings too, and you have like kind of 1 resources left, then you can also play a gun tank and ping another one and finish something off. So that is why I'm using Shinanju as well. But these 2 are really very high cost, so I put my focus on the level 5 and 4s so that I have something to do latest at turn 4, right? So I think that's where I put my actual aggression starting point at, right? And then onto characters. First, I have the Angelo, which is going to be a pilot. Unfortunately, he's not going to actually link into anything in here, unfortunately. But his +2 attack can make a lot of units actually strong enough to beat what they are not supposed to. So I'm using him more like a command card than a character. But if I do, for example, need to set a character without pairing to do something, then like maybe I play the Shinanju first, and then I don't have a character yet, and then draw into him. I can still set him to the Shinanju to get the high maneuver and then still go in, right? So it's more on increasing the character count while having a command that can +2 attack that supports all my weaker units or even the stronger units to be something that they couldn't defeat by themselves. And then 4 of the starter Amuro. Amuro can just rest a HP 5 or less unit, help you to take down the blockers, or when they have 1 blocker and hoping you don't have something to win games, you play the Amuro, you rest the blocker, and then you go in for game. Also, Amuro is Earth Federation, so he can be on all of these. WB team, new type will be not on this one, but then you can put Amuro on the Kushatoria level 5 to do the ping. It couldn't link and attack immediately, but at least if you need the ping, it's going to help you out. But most of the time I will be using on these ones. And then our queen, our star of the deck, Marita Cruz, which is mainly set on these 3 for the links, for activate the skill, for activating the ping, and then when she is linked, she can also ping units that has level lower than this unit for 1 damage. So it's an extra ping, which a lot of times you might need to consider to set Marita onto the Banshee to actually get into a high level to ping stuff, because the Kushatoria is only level 5, so you cannot just simply like ping a lot of stuff. Even though if they put out like an 8 cost or something, you still can't ping anything. But at least having a Banshee here allows you to have more open targets for you to ping that 1 damage, and that sometimes is how you actually win games. Which is also one reason why I'm trying to think, do I need the red MA to actually increase my levels that I can ping? But so far I don't see much space left yet. I might cut one of these to give it a try, but the whole deck is quite heavy right now, so I'm still a little bit struggling on should I want that or not, but I will try it out, and if it is worth it, then I might do the switch. And then free full frontal is because he is a Cyber Newtype, and also because I'm running Shinanju, but more importantly, because when he said you can play a level 4 Neo Geo or Geo unit card from your hand to the field, which is basically just this one, because I put a lot of blue cards that are actually helpful, so I don't have space for other reds. But having this suddenly bring you another card for free, and then when you set your Marita on it, it also get linked, and you have two units that can immediately go into the battlefield. Is really great. Or when you really have a lot of them, you play one, you set him, you play another one, it's still going to ruin your opponent's day because they still need to get rid of a lot of units, right? And these ones, even if you don't have a specific character, you can still put like him down to do a 4 attack on something if you need to. So I don't see a bad thing to do it, and having lengths with Cyber Newtype is important. That is why I'm also putting 3 of him. I was thinking to put 2, but I think the 2/2 body is also going to help you out a lot. So yeah, there we go. And then more commands, free close combat, which is for mainly for early defense, or when you are really like kind of lacking some ping to finish your opponents off. It's a very good card. You do need to use it in this deck, especially like when you see early Sakus or any early 2 defense cards, or maybe 3 when you use your gun tank. It's going to help you out a lot, so make sure you put it in. I do think of the upfront ping, which if your opponent is damaged, you can ping another 3, but my actual pings are not going in since turn 4 unless with the gun tank. But even if the early ping, the 3 damage is not going to make a difference, so I'm putting my choice on close combat, which does not require your opponents to be damaged. You just need to select them and ping 2. That is why I'm using the close combat. And then a show of resolve to draw to you, because we are running blue, which is one reason I choose blue to combine with the red Cyber Newtype instead of green, because I do want the draws. If I break, at least on turn 4 I still have something else to do. I can play a lot of units, I can try to draw cards to find something that I can play for the next turn. So there we are. And then ending with the fleet here, which also do another ping to AP 5 or lower unit, so that you can initiate something, or when they have low defense, they try to attack your shield, and this suddenly appears and ping the one that haven't been attacking, and it's just enough to finish it off. That I think is important. I also can understand why people using the 6 defense one, because it's not that easy to defeat. But if you are going to a very late stage, which a lot of units with character are reaching the 6 attack point, then I see the value on paying more than the 6 defense. That is why I'm choosing this. Yeah, so that's basically the deck list. I do have it also created on the Eggman deck builder, so if you want to see the English version in case you are somehow finding the names and such, you can go through that link and find it out. But so far, when I'm playing against like mid-range decks, even with blockers and stuff, I feel quite comfortable, because I do keep a lot of cards early game, and then I can just think what I want to do here and there, and then I just ping whenever I need. What I need to think most is to how effectively separate my paints of damages, and then everything seems running okay. And I have been going first most of the time, so even my opponent's level is always higher than me. They can bring something out a little bit earlier than me of some sort. I still can manage to handle those things with the current content. Like, I haven't been making edits after that yet, so far it's doing me okay. The main thing that I first feel not very happy about is I don't have any like early cards to help me out. But then I do look through a lot of cards, like the 3-2 body. To me, the 2 defense is too weak. I personally don't quite like the 2-2 units like the GM and such, because I don't see too much of a purpose of them. They can't destroy the EX base, unless I use my Angelo, right? Which I can do it with my gun tank, and against the 2-4 blockers, the 3-3 blockers maybe, if there's any, or any late game stuff, they are just kind of dead. So which is why I didn't use any of those. But if you are looking for some other cards that you can switch into the deck, you can consider, for example, using the Sisu. So this one is a 2-2 body, level 2, cost 2, and when attack, if you are attacking opponent's player, which is basically the shield or the base, for the battle it will get +2 AP. So it's a 4 attack against basically EX base and shield, and even if your opponent's turn blockers on, it's still 4 attack. So this can be brought up by full frontal if you need to. So it can be a card that you consider to actually use, or you can use the Giradoga that also paying 1 damage to opponent's AP5 or lower units on place, on destroyed, not on place, on destroyed. So you can just use him with like Angelo +2 attack, be a 4-3 to go into something, destroy it, ping another one. So you can kind of consider yourself doing 5 damage to that unit. So these are some cards that I would consider to use, and then I might cut a little bit of resale, cut a little bit of Aksha, maybe cut a little bit of Angelo for those, and then of course the big mobile armor if you really want to try it out. I don't see it bad, but it's just too slow. That's probably the only issue we have for now, unless we have some sort of floodgate to make sure your opponents can't attack you early game, but I don't think that will happen. They will just give you better quality cards that might be able to come out a little bit earlier, but instead of like completely stopping the rush. Yeah, so we'll see. But that's it for this deck profile. I will have another one coming soon. That one I do need to look into it and adjust a little bit more, which will be the Red Shaft, which is including like Deal Buster, Aegis, and then the Jins and stuff, right? It's more closer to a pure red build, but I'm still finalizing the list. Once it's ready, you will see it on my channel. So stay tuned and subscribe to my channel for more deck profiles, unboxings, hopefully deck fights in the future. Yeah, I think that's it for this video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Signing off.